Welcome to the Columbia Heights Public School Board meeting on Tuesday, August 27th. We'll start the meeting at 7:01 p.m. Call this meeting to order and please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Laura, would you take roll call, please?
Mueller? Here. Severson?
Here.
Lewis?
Here.
Palmer? Here. Superintendent Kathy Kelly?
Here. Thanks. Our mission statement is creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner. All belong, all succeed. Our core values are community, excellence, collaboration, integrity, respect, courage, and innovation. Now it's time for the agenda approval, adjustments, announcements, and correspondence. I'd like to approve the agenda. Can I have a motion to move that forward?
So moved. Second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Announcements. On Monday, September 2nd is Labor Day holiday. The district will be closed. Tuesday, September 3rd is the first day of school. Welcome back. Tuesday, September 10th at 7 p.m. is a regular school board meeting right here in the community room. Thursday at 7 p.m. on September 12th, there's another school board joint meeting with the City Council of Columbia Heights at the Columbia Heights Library. Tuesday, September 17th at 5:30 p.m., the school board will have a work session back here in the community room. And Tuesday, September 24th at 7 p.m., we'll have another regular school board meeting again here in the community room. Now it's time for communication to the board. This is the community employee representatives. So, pardon me? Correspondence. Oh, sorry. Superintendent Kelly, is there any correspondence?
Vice Chair Severson, there are no correspondence this evening.
Thank you. Man, I thought I was going to make it through this whole thing unscathed. That's my first one. Now is the time for communication to the board. So at this time, any citizens or employee representatives may briefly address the school board. The board will listen to the brief remarks, ask clarifying questions, and if desired, request that the administration follow up. The board will not take action at this meeting on requests presented at this time. Do we have any? All right, great. Now we're going to do the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to move that forward?
So moved. Second.
Lori and Laura, any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, fun part. I always get jealous when John gets to read this, even though it's a lot. We're going to do the acknowledgements of contributions, and it's a resolution, so we're going to need a motion to move that forward.
So moved.
Molly?
Second.
Lorian? All right. Acknowledgement of contributions resolution. Whereas Minnesota statute 123B.02 permits school boards to receive for the benefit of the district, bequest, donations, or gifts of for any proper use and apply the same to the proposed purpose designated. In that behalf, the board may act as trustee of any trust created for the benefit of the district and for the benefit of pupils thereof. Therefore, be it resolved by the School Board of Columbia Heights Public Schools, Independent School District Number 13, that the board accepts with appreciation the contributions detailed in the background in the amount of $5,487.97. The detailed background includes monetary donations of $42 made to Valley View by Carissa Gang for student needs. A donation of $150 was made to Valley View Elementary by Anonymous for student needs. A donation of $75.85 was made to Highland Elementary by DonorsChoose.org for Windows and Mirrors, Books to Show the World project for Ms. Karsten's room. The following donations were made to the Columbia Heights High School Scholarship Program. John Rockwell, $250. Pete Harilla, $250. Luann Rested, $40. Jill Jungers, $50. Pamela Zimba, $200. Jane Halleck, $100. William Yost, $700. Stan Bookout, $50. Dean and Joyce Bliss, $2,000. And the Columbia Heights class of 1976, $750. Value in kind. A donation of school supplies was made to Valley View Elementary by Mark M. for student needs. Estimated value, $279. Donation of school supplies was made to Highland Elementary by Kit Burgoyne for student needs, estimated value $72. Donation of school supplies was made to Highland Elementary by Donna Scanlon for student needs, estimated value of $85. Donation of school supplies was made to Highland Elementary by Julia Drew for student needs, estimated value $40. Donation of supplies was made to Highland Elementary by Donna Scanlon for student needs, estimated value $85. A donation of chairs, stools, cushions, and dry erase clipboards was made to Highland Elementary by DonorsChoose.org for Ms. Servio's room, estimated value $354.12. Total fiscal year 2019-2020 monetary contributions to date, $5,487.97. So, any discussion?
Again, thank you. Thank you so much, and we're starting out the year really strong, so it's good to see all the people that are investing in our kids and our community.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone who gave, and it's fun to see the back-to-school supplies there and helping those classrooms get off to a good start. All right. We'll take a vote, right? So all of those in favor? This is a roll call vote.
Roll call.
Resolution number 2. How many strikes do I get before I get kicked out? Is that just 2? All right. Thanks, Laura. If you do the roll call vote.
Mueller.
Aye.
Severson.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Palmer. Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you for that and for your grace in this moment. All right, we're going to move forward to discussion reports and information items, and we're going to lead with reports from members of the board. Lorian, way out there, all by yourself. Do you want to start?
Lonely end of the table. Since our last meeting, I attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the high school band room addition and performing arts spaces. So that was a great experience with the student band playing. So thank you for that. Also attended our special called meeting and then attended the new teacher welcome, which again, that was great to see all the new teachers come and their energy and excitement to start the year. So.
Laura?
But pretty much I followed the same line. I attended the groundbreaking. It's good to see the beginning of all the hard work that has happened over the past couple of years in planning. And great to see the kids out there. And it was a lot of fun to see Mr. Robleski do the conducting. So that was a special moment. The special call meeting, of course, meeting the new teachers is always a great way to start out the beginning of the year. And then I also attended the open house over at Columbia Academy.
Molly?
I'm going to follow suit. Also attended the groundbreaking. Awesome. I'm super excited about that for the school district. Attended the special call meeting, the new teacher orientation. And I just think that, I've been to probably 6 of them maybe now, 5 or 6. And the energy was just incredible. I think it was really exciting. It seems like a really good group of new teachers here. And I also attended the Columbia Academy open house, and again, the energy down there was fantastic. It's fun to see all the kids, and I know some of us are ready to send them all back. So, yes.
Yes.
A moment of honesty. And I did see
I was at
Lorian
the
at the
call.
open
I
house
guess
as
I
well.
just blocked out what happened 20 minutes ago.
Most people block out anything related to a middle school experience, so that's fair. All right. As for me, I also attended groundbreaking. That was fun. It was my first groundbreaking, and it was fun to see how they just moved aside a pile of dirt for us to shovel as if we were trusted to be on the actual construction site, which made me laugh, and I thought, yeah, I'd probably hurt myself. We had the special called meeting. I was also at the new teacher welcome, and it was fun to see a good mix of really veteran teachers. Superintendent Kelly asked how long they'd been in teaching, and it was fun to see some very veteran teachers and some just fresh, brand-new teachers full of energy and probably nervousness. I had meetings with Superintendent Kelly and Chair Larkin, and I also had the chair meeting just prior to this. Superintendent Kelly, do you have a report for us?
Vice Chair Severson, I certainly do. District Administration held a 3-day retreat focused on student achievement, professional learning communities, and social and emotional learning. I attended the Columbia Heights High School addition groundbreaking, and I want to thank all who planned it and who attended. And special thanks to the members of the Columbia Heights High School band who came in on summer break to play. We had a special guest artist in addition to Principal Robleski. Mr. Alex Mueller Miller conducted, which was great to see him again. And then I want to thank the collaborative partners who provided us with the refreshments, the mugs, and of course the Frisbees. Attended a Metro EXU executive board meeting. The focus on that was all on budget and end of the year reporting. We reviewed it in depth, and it really seems like the organization is on a sound financial footing. And I believe that part of this is because of the Sourcewell contribution that comes in on a yearly basis, but is not used for anything that would be ongoing in the budget. And so that seems to be taking off, and that contribution is helping to extend professional development out to the schools. So that was nice to know they're on sturdy ground. The Columbia Heights Public School District Administration had a conference call this past last week about social and emotional professional learning with the district management group. And this, Member Palmer, you're going to be happy to hear, is done through a collaboration with 916, where they're paying for the fees, and then we get to go hear the presentation. So that's a nice collaboration. That's a huge focus for us again this year. The new teacher induction program really was. It's always fun. And I'm sure the bus ride was just as fun with Chair Larkin and leading the call with Zena Stenvig. But there was a lot of energy in the room. I want to thank the people that planned it. That's a lion's share of the work really goes to teaching and learning. Because it just takes up a lot. But also to all the school staff, the mentors who came in on Friday, and the community members who come in and sit at tables or meet us at the Heights Theater. Very, very nice for pulling it all together. Today, all licensed staff had a district in-service, and the major focus was on PLC work. And the keynote speaker really focused on really our mission, which was an expectation that all students can learn. And I felt that there was really a congruency with each and every learner, and that all succeed, all belong. And then they broke up after that into individual, more structured PLC work around their subject areas. So very well attended, and the fans were a delight when everybody had the fans. That was the talk. I had a school board chair meeting prior to this, and I have a reminder for the board members. You get this in your email, but I wanted to make sure you didn't miss it in case it's been a busy summer. The delegate assembly is up again, and in order to apply for that committee, you have to have either a self-nomination or somebody else nominate you by Friday. And so wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that's a 2-year commitment, and that the delegate assembly is scheduled for Saturday, December 7th, and it's held in Minneapolis, and that's through MSBA. And that is really all I have, and thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. We will move on to our Tri-Metro Conference update with everyone's favorite activities director, Antoine Harris.
Good evening, Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, and Superintendent Kathy Kelly. I'm here for a brief moment to have a discussion about the Tri-Metro Conference. A little bit of an update. Our mission, Columbia Heights Public Schools, create worlds of opportunities for each and every learner. All belong, all succeed. Core values, community, excellence, collaboration, integrity, respect, courage, and innovation. In our Tri-Metro Conference, our member schools, it's 9 of us, which include Holy Angels, Brooklyn Center, Columbia Heights, De La Salle, Fridley. Our newest member is Richfield, along with St. Anthony Village and St. Croix in Visitation. As you recall, last year I spoke about 2 members leaving, and the 1 member that came to the conference was Richfield. St. Agnes and Concordia were the 2 school members that left. We are currently in discussion about adding a 10th member. We're working on the vetting process right now for the next group, so stay tuned for that. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss our meetings as a governance team. And within that team, we meet monthly every Thursday, which includes all of the athletic directors, which is the first Thursday of the month. The governing board, which includes the ADs, the principals, and the superintendents, meet 3 times a year, which is October, January, and June, and is led by the whole school, which happens to be Columbia Heights this year. So the meetings will be led by myself and Superintendent Kelly this year, and we look forward to that. Budget. Just a quick brief discussion on the budget for the conference. We talk about this, on a regular basis, and there's a budget committee that is formed every year, which includes the superintendents, the principals, and athletic directors. It includes the member school that's currently hosting, which is this year Columbia Heights, previous year, which was Brooklyn Center, and next year De La Salle within that group. Just a quick graph about the budget. I went all the way back to 2003, and I wanted to just have a discussion and show, the budgeted number is the blue line and expenditures is orange. And every year except 2015-16, we've been under budget for the athletic departments and activities departments within all the schools. So we feel pretty good about that. In the 1 year, 2015-16, I think we went over by $1,000, so we made an adjustment to that as well. And the next graph, for those who like to see things a little bit differently, is just a line graph of the same post. Again, as you can see, we've been pretty good as well. So that was just a brief history of what we're doing. The meetings will be held actually in this room on the first Thursday of the month, and that's where we are. Do we have any questions?
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Related to the budget. I saw that the budget amount for this year was lower than what we had been, what the budget was in previous years. Is that because of the one less school?
Correct.
Okay.
We have one less school, and so we wanted to make sure we didn't go over.
Yep.
So we went down a little bit more, and so we probably went down a little bit further than what we wanted to. We wanted to make sure we were at where we needed to be until we get another whole school in.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to do this, hosting.
Be the
Yes,
host
we
with
are
the
very,
mostest.
yes, we will have a good time doing that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Appreciate it.
All right, the curriculum cycle update, Tara Tuckroll, the Deputy Director of Teaching and Learning, will present.
Good evening, Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. I'm here tonight to update you on our curriculum cycle. Our mission of creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner, all belong, all succeed, really does play a big part in our curriculum cycle in order to ensure every student has that opportunity to succeed and learn. Our core values focused tonight are excellence, collaboration, and innovation. And it's an informational item as the curriculum cycle was approved from 2016 to 2023. Our curriculum cycle has been, so there's no governance question following. Our curriculum review is really based upon Minnesota State statute, as well as MDE and our Columbia Heights strategic plan. So we take into account all 3 of those pieces as we're looking at the areas to focus in on and how to support them. I know it's really small up there. Our curriculum cycle is on, as I mentioned earlier, is from 2016 to 2023, and we're right in the middle of it right now. And so in year 1, we have a study and preparation year. This is where we take the time to really look at the standards, dig into our needs, look at the data. And so this year we'll be focusing in on social studies, K-12. And then year 2, we take a look at our curriculum and instruction pieces of it and see how they're aligned and really look at the resources we have. So we look at other districts, we look at research behind that to see if the resources that we have to meet the standards are the right ones for our students. This year we will continue working with our 612 English Language Arts teachers to ensure we have the right resources and pieces in place there. And then our year 3 all the way to the end really focuses on implementation and support. So we will continue to support with our K-12 science and engineering, as well as our CTE and K-12 performing arts. Along with our curriculum cycle, we have assumptions written in there that include Atlas curriculum mapping, new courses, so if new courses come up at the high school or any level, that we ensure we are following the cycle for that as well. As we're following the cycle for the different content areas, we're including our special education, our gifted, and our English learners. Social emotional learning is happening every year. As the superintendent says, we really are going to have a focus on it this year. We started looking at the new standards or the new pieces in place from MDE, and we'll continue that work into this year. And then college career readiness and technology integration we do as we're going through each content area as well. One thing that really changes up our curriculum cycle sometimes is MDE and when the standards come out. So this year, the science standards are supposed to be approved in rulemaking. They haven't been approved yet through the rulemaking and the commissioner. So once they do, we'll follow through. But if they come out and change their cycle, it changes up ours as well. So we make sure that we align to that, so we're supporting our teachers with the new standards. We follow a system to ensure that our curriculum cycle is approved by the board as well as all adoptions. We have reading, math, and science as a priority, and that the biggest one, I think, the director of finance will be happy. We ensure that everything comes in at or under budget. She watches us on that one. Mentioned earlier was Atlas curriculum mapping. This is a really powerful tool for our teachers, administrators, and staff. We're able to put in the units of study that we have and map them out, align them to standards, include the resources we have. And this really helps us ensuring that we're meeting the standards, but also with alignment. So if you have a student in 6th grade math, you really want to look at what did they learn in 5th grade and what are they going to have to learn in 7th grade. So this tool allows our teachers to really dig into that conversation by looking at their scope and sequence, their units, their vocabulary. So it's been a powerful tool for us to use with our collaborative teams. And we continuously update it. We have teachers who want to and ask for hours throughout the summer to keep updating it and ensure that their resources are up to date and aligned, depending on the data they received from the previous year. And I think every year, the number of teachers who ask goes up. So it's very dedicated staff working on it. Our curriculum development cycle includes many stakeholders. We really begin with our teachers by digging into the data and talking to them and looking at resources. And then we also include our administrative teams, which includes teaching and learning, leadership, principals, and then move to the administrative team with the superintendent and the world's best workforce. We present to the community members, families, students, anyone who shows up for our world's best workforce meetings. We really include them on the meetings in the curriculum adoption cycle and development by sharing resources, showing them what the teacher said, and really gather their input from the family side of it. What are you looking for? And then we bring our recommendation to the superintendent and the school board for final approval for adoption. So a look back at 2018-2019 and the areas that we focused in on. MDE released new physical education standards and health standards, so we really supported our teachers with implementation of that, and really included lifelong fitness. So instead of units of study in terms of studying football or basketball, it was really how do you build a lifelong fitness goal for students and encourage it all the way from kindergarten up to 12th grade. We continued with our PRESS, which is our reading intervention, and we included kindergarten and 1st grade in this. We focused in on the K-12 arts, and we'll continue to do that this year. They had new standards released as well, so we're supporting them with implementation of that. Last year, we worked with the American Indian Studies course at the high school and began our literature review with the 612 ELA, and then really took a lot of time with our CTE and engineering courses, K-12, to ensure that we were aligned with the national standards and received program approval from MDE on those courses. And we're excited, as the superintendent mentioned, about PLC Works. We're really excited to work with all of our teams this year on really looking at that standards alignment. And then focusing in on our science standards when they're released. We'll support our science teachers with implementing those new standards. We have pre-AP, which I know was mentioned at a previous board meeting, coming into 9th grade, and those teachers are ready to go. Even today, they stopped me in the hallway and shared how excited they are and waiting to share with the students what they've prepared for them. So we're excited for pre-AP for 9th grade. With pre-AP, we've done some work with curriculum and alignment support for 8th and 10th grade so that we support them on either end and really focused in on social studies this past year and this summer. We'll continue working with our arts and our ELA throughout this coming year. And then looking at pathways for business and facts. So really ensuring that we have courses, if you're interested in business, that you could take a level 1, a level 2, and really work your way up to support students with that. We have a high school Arabic language course and a wonderful teacher who will be teaching that. So we're going to continue to support her with that throughout the year. And then looking at the standards throughout all the courses. So it'll be a busy year, but we're really excited. I think today was a great start off to get us going. And that's it. A long list, but we're excited. Any questions?
Busy office.
It's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Going to move on to action items, of which we have a lot. Thankfully, we've talked about a lot of these things in our last meeting, but let's hear more. I'd like to welcome Zina Stenvik, Executive Director of Educational Services, to talk about the E12 Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook.
Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. This evening, I'm here seeking approval for the 2019-2020 Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook. This was a handbook that was created by a large committee that spanned the district. Its purpose is to ensure that we have alignment and consistency across the district and provide information to parents. It was approved last school year, and for this year, there were really some minor changes. So we needed to update all the forms that are in there. We want to make sure that we have the most up-to-date information for parents. There was some formatting and wordsmithing, and then with the new addition of the new news that all students can access free breakfast, we wanted to make sure that that was in the book as well. So there were some very minor changes to the book, and with that, I'm seeking approval for the updated version of the Rights and Responsibilities Handbook.
All right, do we have a motion to move that forward?
So moved.
Lorian?
Second.
Laura was louder. It's Laura. All right, any discussion, questions? And just to remind people watching, it's not that we don't know anything, or we had a very long presentation about it and asked questions at our last meeting, so. All right, in light of that, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved. Thanks, Zina. You're going to stay there?
I will.
All right, Every Student Succeeds Act grants.
Yes, so at the previous school, Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly, at a previous board meeting, Deputy Director Tuckrell and I presented on Title I, II, III, and IV. So just as a reminder, Title I provides additional supplemental support for academic achievement and parent engagement. Title II provides additional support for professional development. Title III is for English learners, and Title IV is providing that well-rounded education. And again, that's new to us this year, so we're excited to utilize that funding to round out our elementary arts teachers and to provide literacy through the arts so that each grade level will be able to access those crucial specialist classes. You were presented with the preliminary budgets and dollar amounts. Now, this is coming later than normal. Typically, the Department of Education released it very late this year. Typically, you would get this in the spring. So as these numbers are updated, we'll keep the board informed. However, with that, I'm here seeking approval for all of the ESSA title funding.
All right.
Preliminary.
Thank you. Motion to carry it forward.
So moved.
Molly, second.
Second.
Lorian, thank you. Discussion? I have a question. I see the updated dollar amounts. Those could just fluctuate depending on, or those are the amounts. So they're on page 24 in your packet. But
Those are the preliminary amounts that were released by the Department of Education. So that's what we're planning on.
Okay.
Throughout the year, sometimes things happen. Sometimes they do sequestration, which means we give back a little bit. So we're careful with that. Sometimes different numbers are calculated and they bump it up a little bit. So it may fluctuate slightly.
okay. Great. Other questions? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. And it looks like you're still with us. Is that LEA authorization, right?
Correct.
All right, thanks.
Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. In order to manage with accuracy all of those title grants, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm here seeking approval to name me as the LEA representative for review and filing of the title grants for the 1920 school year. We ensure lots of checks and balances on the grants. So Deputy Director Tara Tuckrell and the Business Office Director Sundstrom and the folks that work with her in the business office are all checking and balancing one another with these. And then the final review would go to me if approved this evening.
All right. Motion to move that one forward.
No, moved.
Laura, second?
Second.
Molly, any questions, discussion? Yeah.
This is done every year.
This is done every year. This is something that I've learned how to do quite a bit a few years ago, and so I'm very comfortable with it and thorough and detail-oriented. Yes.
I just meant that we have to approve this
We
every
have
year.
to approve it every year.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, thanks. It's a good reminder. Some of these just happen, right? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the fifth time is the charm for Zena Stenvik, the Metro XU membership approval.
Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly, Metro XU is the Metropolitan Educational Cooperative Services Unit. The board was presented with information on Metro XU at a previous board meeting. As a reminder, it's a cooperative that provides the district with many, many opportunities, whether it's cooperative purchasing, whether it's student programs, whether it's support for professional development or assessments for teachers that are required for their areas. Currently, in the past several years, Columbia Heights Public Schools has taken good advantage of these offerings. This year, we've learned of some additional new opportunities and we're excited to tap into those with in collaboration with the schools. One of the best parts about this membership is its cost. It's very inexpensive for what they offer to us. So the membership this year is $3,758.20. So I'm here seeking approval for the Metro XU membership for the 2019-20 school year. Excuse me.
All right, do we have a motion to carry that one forward?
So moved.
Lorian, second?
Second.
Molly, any questions, discussion?
I just wanted to mention too, and just reiterate what Zena had said, that I've served on as our board's liaison to Metro XU for a number of years, and it really provides a value, I think, to our organization, not only in the group purchasing, but in the development opportunities and the testing opportunities, but then also in the success beyond the classroom opportunities as well. So, like she said, for the value for the dollar is pretty strong.
All right, that's great. Other questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Lindsay Bennett, Director of Human Resources, is going to come talk about the employee handbook approval.
Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. At the last school board meeting, I did present the 2020 employee handbook. There's very minimal changes this year. It includes just policy updates. We include a little clarification on work comp procedures, and then what to do if you have a name change since we switched HR systems. So tonight I'm here seeking approval of the employee handbook.
All right, motion to carry that one forward.
So moved.
Second.
Molly and Lorian, there we go. Any discussion? Questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, to talk about the North Park bids, we'll have Brian Hennekins, Director of Technology, Security, and Buildings, and Denise Sundstrom, Director of Finance and Operations.
Good evening, Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. This evening, we are recommending to the board for approval the North Park Elementary bond referendum bids. We brought this to the school board at the last meeting and presented in detail on it. Just a note that the bid tabulations and the letter of recommendation is attached again. We had one item that was updated to a different contracting company or different vendor. The flooring area, the original low bid was missing pieces, so we went to the next low bid. Just wanted to make a note of that, and that was WS09D section. That was the change. Now, it does change the price of the base bids, but base bids do remain under budget still. So that's the great news. So again, this total project is funded through the voter-approved bond referendum dollars, capital projects levy, and long-term facilities maintenance dollars. So again, these projects are a combination of all of them. Again, there's the recommendation to move forward with the bidders and alternatives.
All right, a motion to carry this forward.
So moved.
Lorian, second?
Second.
Molly, thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Just with the revision on the increase for that base bid for the flooring, I know that in the past, we had, in our former presentation, we had the base bids, and we were able to include all those alternates and still kind of be within our budget. With this increase, we're still good on those numbers?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then all of those vendors have been vetted. Okay. Any more questions? It's a lot of vendors. I'm scrolling through the list. It's a lot.
It's a long list.
Yeah.
It's a big project.
Yep. Any more questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. Now the high school stage remodel bids.
Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. We also have before you an action item seeking approval, recommending approval for our gym stage remodel bids. This project, again, we presented the bids, the information item at the last board meeting. We did have one bidder for this, but again, the bidder is $2,000 approximately under our original cost estimates. So we recommend moving forward, and again, with the other project as well, we're combining existing dollars like we are with all of our projects.
All right, motion to carry this one forward.
So moved.
Lorian, second?
Second.
Laura? Any questions? Discussion?
Just to clarify, there was really only one company that was able, because this is such a unique project, correct?
Yeah, there was a few others that pulled the information down from the website, looked at it, but it is a very unique project. So, but again, we are under what our cost estimates were. So this base bid came in under that cost.
And you knew of other districts that have used them as a company?
Yes,
So we're comfortable
absolutely.
with them?
Is it the other districts with the similar construction design? Or,
Yeah, this company actually purchased the company that built the stage very much like what we are building.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
any other questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
thank you.
All right, let's welcome John Fryer, Director of Special Education, to talk about Children's Therapeutic Services and Supports application.
All right, Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. Good evening, I'm John Fry, Director of Special Ed, and I'm here to talk about Children's Therapeutic Services and Support, our CTSS, and our application process. So first off, our mission, all belong, all succeed. And the focus this evening is collaboration and innovation. I just want to give a brief background of what CTSS is. And that it's a flexible package of mental health services for children who require a variety of different therapeutic and rehabilitative levels of intervention. And those can range from mental health services like diagnostic assessments or psychotherapy or skills training, both group and individual and what have you, as well as some other auxiliary services like attending IEP meetings, consultation, or staff training. And so what this would apply to for the application, we would become a CTSS Level 2, and this would be primarily to support the students in our anchor program, our 6 to 12 anchor program. Again, this service would be provided to students who are in special ed or students who were referred to the Child Studies team. And Lee Carlson will be our provider. So what I'm asking this evening is for approval to apply for to be a CTSS school provider. Thank you.
Thanks. Motion to carry that one forward.
So moved.
Laura, second?
Second.
Molly? Questions? Discussion? All right. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Great, thank you. Superintendent Kelly and Zena Stenvik, Executive Director of Educational Services.
Vice Chair Severson and members of the board, it's that time of year when we look at enrollment very closely, and sometimes, in the spring, we say we might be able to add some things back based on enrollment, and we believe that we have some recommendations tonight that Executive Director of Educational Services, Zena Stenvik, will go over with you. We believe that, although usually we don't do this till we see the whites of their eyes, we believe that we have an overflowing placement center and some schools that are really have reached capacity. So I will pass the baton to Zena.
Vice Chair Severson, members of the board, Superintendent Kelly. As Superintendent Kelly mentioned, we are monitoring actual enrollment on a daily basis and then compiling weekly enrollment. And currently, where Highland Elementary School is facing a very full building, not to capacity, but well beyond capacity. I pulled numbers this afternoon. So the building capacity is 525 students. Currently, active enrolled students are 590 students. So that's an increase from just a couple of days ago. The packets keep coming in. We are also monitoring anyone who's enrolling with the address with the new Dominium apartment buildings just down the street. And so far, Highland has enrolled 28 students. There may be more resident students coming, and so we feel it's crucial for the capacity of the building and the education of the students to close Highland as a whole building to open enrollment. Next, looking at with a similar situation at the high school, not the entire school, but really grade 9 and grade 10. Again, pulling the numbers, they've increased. Grade 10 is over 300 and grade 9 is over 325. I have 326 active students right now, which is a lot more than we had in the previous years. So it's filling up the building and may cause some difficulties finding classroom space at those grade levels. So again, not the whole building, but at those specific grade levels. And so we can close grade levels, programs, or buildings to open enrollment. So the recommendation for the high school then would be to close grades 9 and 10 as well to open enrollment. And then Columbia Academy continues to be above capacity, and so that one would just remain as is. So this evening, I'm seeking approval to close grades 9, 10, and Highland as a building to open enrollment.
All right, motion to carry that forward.
So moved.
Laura?
Second.
Molly? Thanks. Discussion. Member Palmer, you're burning.
There's 500 students more than when I started on this board. Every
awesome.
year, it seems like, I was just like, where are we going to put them? So thank you so much to the people of Columbia Heights for giving us that additional space over at North Park, because we're really going to need it. So that's all I really wanted to say, was just a reflection.
And clarification, so we're closing to open enrollment, and I know you had mentioned and alluded to this. Anybody who's living within our boundaries, who are what I'll call in-district students, they're certainly able to continue to enroll. So if you've just moved in 3 blocks from Highland, you will be able to go to Highland. It's students who live outside of our district boundaries that we're saying they cannot enroll in Highland. But at this point, if they still would like to have their children come to Columbia Heights Public Schools, at this point in time, they can enroll at Valley View or North Park Elementary. Those schools still have ability for open enrollment.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yep. And Superintendent Kelly has told me also that the pre-K all-day classes are all full now, correct?
That's correct.
All right. So, great news for pre-K. The Highland students, I know this is a little bit off topic, but what do they do with plus 70 kids over there? Is there a plan?
Yep,
provide what they
there are a
need?
few different options.
Okay.
Right now, we think they're going to be okay in terms of the space. Superintendent Kelly and I have been talking, though, about how we can further support them. If we were to add any additional, we would really need to wait for the, as she says, whites of their eyes. So we're going to need to wait until, the first week or two of school after that 15-day drop to make any of those decisions. So it might be tight, a little bit tight for those days. We just have to see the data before we move forward and expend any more funding.
And in addition, we talked to both the principal and the AP to see how it's going as well. So,
Great. Thank you. Motion to carry this forward. Should have done that sooner. Oh, we already did that. Right, yeah, now we can vote. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, and finally, that's me. Association of Metropolitan School District, AMSD membership. John actually began a conversation about this last week, and kind of, 'tis the season for renewals of memberships to different things, and this one was about AMSD. That's the organization that, did I present it? I presented on this one. I was the MSBA, sorry. And this is an organization that provides us with a ton of information, networking on the state level at the state legislature. I personally have been to the meetings. I sit on their board with Superintendent Kelly and have found it very helpful in growth. I know those updates go in your packet. It's probably less impactful to read sort of the really long things, but they really do have a ton of information and do a great job of keeping us informed of state level things and how those impact school districts specifically in the metropolitan area. So I'd recommend that we move that forward. So motion to move this forward.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right. Any questions, discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, on to board topics. Lots of things happening in the district right now. It's kind of hard to articulate them all.
I think, let's say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to mention the open houses. I know we had Columbia Academy open house today, but the elementary school open houses and the high school open house is on Thursday. So lots more of activity at the open house.
The groundbreaking, North Park. is
North
coming
Park
up, too.
groundbreaking, 6 PM at North Park.
6 PM at North Park.
Thursday.
Yep.
Thursday.
Thursday.
And that will be doubled up with their conference night. So parents, if you're watching, one stop. We'd love to see you there, or open house, excuse me, open house night. So we'd love to see you there at 6 o'clock for that.
And of course, Friday night is the first football game at home.
Home
Love to
opener
see
for
a
the-
lot of the
for the
community and
football
teachers
team.
and everyone out. So,
And I know a
And-
lot of spring sports have been coming up.
and I believe that there will be people in the parking lot beforehand. Do you want to touch on that?
There will be people tailgating. The boosters kind of throw together a tailgate in the parking lot, the student parking lot right across from the stadium. It's a fun, you can bring a grill and grill, but I think people show up with various fast food in hand, pizza boxes, so you don't need to, nothing fancy. We just want to see you there enjoying fun, meeting new people. I think if you're like, man, I'm not going to know anybody, we would love to have you there. People are pretty friendly here in Heights and can be a lot of fun.
And can I mention, just to piggyback on that, if you don't want to grill, the girls' synchronized swimming team is working the hot dog wagon, also Friday evening, just there at the corner at the liquor store on 50th.
Top
and
Value,
Central.
at
So-
Top Value.
Thank you, at Top Value. So they will be there selling hot dogs that you can
Just
get
walk 'em
and
up and it'll look
walk
like
'em
you
up
grilled.
to the tailgating.
It'll
yes.
look like you grilled.
And
Yeah.
support the synchronized swimming team.
Yep.
Yep.
Any other topics? All right, meeting is adjourned at 7:50 PM.